can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey, bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your bush today.
AP News, I'm Ed Donahue. The White House says it's a Democrat smear. Documents released by House Democrats show Jeffrey Epstein wrote in a 2019 email to a journalist Donald Trump knew about the girls. What he knew and whether it pertained to the sex offender's crimes is unclear. Democrats in the House Oversight Committee released 3 emails referencing Trump, including one Epstein wrote in 2011 in which he told Ghislaine Maxwell Trump had spent hours at Epstein's house with a sex trafficking victim. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president did not do anything wrong.
This administration has done more with respect to transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein than any administration ever. In fact, this administration, the Department of Justice, has turned over tens of thousands of documents to the American people. We are cooperating and showing support for the House Oversight Committee. That's part of the reason you are seeing these documents that were released today.
The president has consistently denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes and has said he ended their relationship years ago. The House votes today on possibly ending the government shutdown. Washington Democrat Pramila Jayapal says a shutdown could happen again in January if Democrats aren't able to get some concessions on the Affordable Care Act subsidies.
I think it depends on these vulnerable House Republicans who who are not going to be able to go back to their constituents without telling them that they've done something on health care.
Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Democrats can't support an effort to gut the health care of the American people. The U.S. Mint has ended production of the penny, a change made to save money and in recognition of the growing irrelevance of the 1-cent coin. The last pennies were struck today at the Mint in Philadelphia, where the country's smallest denomination coins have been produced since 1793. Officials say track will open the L.A. Olympics in 2028, with women's 100-meter sprints lining up 3 times. This is AP News. A solution for the CIA's crypto sculpture is now available, but only for the highest bidder.
An encrypted message in an art installation outside the CIA headquarters has stymied the world's best code breakers for 35 years. Now the secret to deciphering it is up for auction. Bobby Livingston with RR Auction.
The first 3 messages were unencrypted within 10 years, but the K4 has remained encrypted till this day.
Jim Sanborn's Cryptos was installed in 1990. Sanborn says the encrypted messages are paragraphs that build on each other while becoming increasingly difficult to decipher. Not even AI has solved the mystery. At 79, Sanborn is looking for the next keeper to the secrets of K4.
That method is the real deal, and nobody has the method but me.
I'm Lisa Dwyer.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
It's the 12 bags of Christmas from Bud Light to you. Buy a pack here at home, win big prizes too. Gather your friends, the season is here. It's the 12 bags of Christmas from Bud Light.
The 12 weeks of cheers are on. Purchase any 12-pack of Bud Light, Budweiser, or Michelob Ultra cans now through December 19th for your chance to win a trip for 2 to watch your favorite NFL team live, plus weekly prizes. Details at currentcnmi.com.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. The rhythm and soul in so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes
It is 7:45 in the morning here on Saipan. That's right. It is Thursday, Thirsty Thursday, 7:45 in the morning. So you don't have to worry about getting crazy thirsty later. But think about lunch over there at Ian's Kitchen. I don't know what the special is today, but I know it's going to be amazing because they never let me down every single time I go there. I am loving it. And man, speaking of loving it, I had a great bunch of Mickey D's yesterday that I could tell you about later. But the best part about it was the customer service. The whole team jumping through hoops to make sure that everything was good to go for me afterwards. I'm telling you, it was great. I felt like I was all special and stuff. And I know that you can get that feeling too when you go in there. But it was really pretty cool. Those guys. It was really something simple. They forgot my McNuggets. It's like, hey, Fatty, you don't need McNuggets. I'm like, oh, come on, Ronald. No. But then they doubled up on it and gave me all this extra stuff yesterday. It was awesome. So shout out to all the folks over there at McDonald's in Garapan. You guys had me loving it yesterday for sure. All right, well, you can find out if you're going to be loving it in a little bit if you get on the road and find out what's happening with traffic. So let's tell you how Saipan traffic is looking today as we head down to the roads. We are right now looking at Garapan, and it looks pretty good. Just your regular stop and go right now, a little bit of school buses, but you're getting a little bit of a backup over there by JG Sablon Water and Ice, over there by Soda Lore Laundry. Folks trying to get in any direction, not too happy. But hey, that's Garapan for you at 7:45. Where we're going to really see it is when we start heading up in Islito. But we'll get there. Some traffic over there at the big light at Gualarai on Beach Road. There's a little bit on the other end of that road as well, but not too bad. Even the Quartermaster Road looks pretty good right now. Just a little bit of a holdup, but folks trying to make their way north along the Middle Road are going to be waiting a little bit, especially when you finally make your way over to the intersection that matters, the place where connections matter, IT&E. That's right. You've got a lot of folks trying to make their way onto the CMG. That's Salomon Senior Guerrero for you rookies. But folks who are trying to make their way up from Beach Road, it is going to be a little bit not too bad, but don't try it and two-wheel it on your four-wheeler. It's not going to happen when you make that corner. All right, the old AK intersection looking pretty good. And, man, you got to see what they're doing. They're taking the windows out now. They are going to redo that place. I can't wait to see what that place looks like. Like if that becomes the real big flagship Triple J dealership, that's going to be amazing. All right, got a little bit of traffic over there by CK Smokehouse, by the old post office in CK. But where you're really seeing a lot of traffic is over there by Hopwood Middle School. You can see the parents making their way when they get by the light. Over there by Subway. You'd wish you have a Subway so you could tunnel underneath all that traffic. All right, making your way all the way up to the Chalmon Senior Martinez in the Kobler / Perdido / Aslito area. You got some traffic for folks coming up the hill from the mayor's dog control program. And also folks who are going to be heading south. How about if you go over there by SIS is even looking good. So all those parents got their kids to school on time. Where you are going to start to see a little bit of backup is when you get over there by Shell Dandan. That's right. That creep road behind Joe Ten Dandan. Yeah, that the traffic's past that. It's going to be a little while. Not too bad. At least it's not all the way back down to Maddie's. But the other side of it is folks coming from the college going up the hill. They're going to be backed up all the way past Joe 10 to get to that light. In the home of the Canaries in San Vicente, it's looking pretty good. Folks able to drop their kids off. But, you know, it is bus stopville over by May Market. That's right. Folks trying to get down to Natibu Drive to get the back way to the school. Yeah, that's going to be a little while as you make your way coming out of Papago and trying to get through San Vicente. Everything else on the back road looks pretty good, even all the way through Puerto Rico, and that's not too bad. Even Beach Road, actually. Shocker, Beach Road in Garapan has a little bit of action going on as folks get over there by Godfather's, probably just waiting to go and enjoy some of the action down there on a Thirsty Thursday kind of night. It's a little early to pregame. They're going to be there, guys. Don't worry. You don't have to be there that early. All right. Well, traffic is not something you have to worry about if you get on with Transit CNMI. That's right.
Transit CNMI, they have the Blue Line taking you everywhere you need to go, from Toteville to the Paseo, and they're doing it for just $2. That's right, $2 get you anywhere you need to go on the Blue Line. And even better, if you're a student, a veteran, active duty military, you're a Monamco, or you've got disabilities, it's only $1. You think that's a good deal? Wait. If you're in the military, if you are a veteran, or if you are an immediate family of a veteran and you're with them, with your service member, you get to ride for free the entire month of November on Transit CNMI. Transit CNMI, the award-winning small market transportation company. That's right. I'm telling you, we have the best one in the entire nation, and we got the awards to prove it. Transit CNMI, taking care of you on the line that is blue. Now, what else is great about that? You can find out where the bus is. That's right. They've got it online. You're able to see it wherever it is, so you get an idea of how long you have to wait while you're sitting out there at the bus stop and relaxing. They've got buses going all day from 6:30 in the morning to 8:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Weekends and holidays, 6:30 in the morning to 8 p.m. And remember, you got to pay an exact change. They have a great ability to take you where you need to go, but they can't take your money and give you other money back. So give them a call if you want some more information, 236-2682. They've got two in service right now. One's over there heading north on by World Resort, and the other one's heading south over there by Mount Carmel. And then you got a couple that are pre-staged out there just in case something happens with one of those other ones. They're ready to spring into action for you. Not too bad. They've got air conditioning. They've got comfortable seats. They've got the sweetest smelling drivers in the world. And they've also got free Wi-Fi. Transit CNMI. Give them a call, 236-2682, and find out what they can do for you. How about that? Now, guys, I'm telling you, Transit CNMI is great. And for free service for all the people who served in active duty military, coasties, all you guys, and your immediate family. That's right. It's awesome. Now, you can't just go on there and say, hey, my dad's a veteran. No. You got to be with your dad if he's the veteran. You got to be, that's the service member and the immediate family that's with them. It's pretty cool, and that's all month. So thank you very much, Transit CNMI. All right, let's get to some of our headlines. You heard about some of the stuff that's happening in the world federally, because we're all trying to find out what's going to happen with that shutdown. Are people going to get their benefits? Like, what is going on in the world with all that stuff? Well, we already heard that the Senate did what they were supposed to do in order to make that work, and then it goes to the House, and that's kind of where it is right now, and that's what we're kind of hanging out for, waiting to find. Same thing on the other side. Our local House of Representatives did what they need to do. Again, it is not a fix for everything, but it is a little bitty baby Band-Aid that can help out with some of this stuff. And now it goes to the Senate. Now the Senate has a session tomorrow. They're going to be in Tinian, and hopefully this will be one of the things that they talk about while they're over there as well. Talk about that they have hopefully made the changes that they want to make to the House's proposal, so that they can go ahead and change it up and approve it on their side. Send it back to the House and hear what the House has to say about it. Now, we know that the House moves pretty quick. Let's see what happens on the Tinian side. Speaking on the Tinian side, we saw that the reason why they're doing the session in Tinian tomorrow is because they've got some folks that they want to try to push through the Senate nomination process, and they want to do it because they're people from Tinian. Go figure. It's a good deal. I mean, I'd want to get the home court press. Everybody in Saipan, they've got folks who come out there to say good things about them when they get in front of it, but they want to have the same opportunity for folks who are going through that process. And Tinian, have some of the Tinian locals go out and say some good stuff about them when they get out there. So that's what we're, I can hear those guys out there. Our first guests are outside. But hopefully we'll hear about that, and they'll talk about this, and maybe they'll push some of that through, so they don't just do that hearing during the session, but they'll actually get through and address some of it. So that would be pretty outstanding if they do. But so far, not yet. But am I dancing around the big news? The big news, as you saw it on the NMI News Service, cheap plug, easy, I know, NMI News Service website and all our social media channels, that Vinny Sablon has released a letter to the GOP saying, hey, I want to be your governor. So he's signaled his intention to run for governor for the CNMI if he gets through the GOP process and through their primary, if they have one. Right now, in fact, we've got, here, we can pop that on the screen for you so you can see it. I just want to put it on the full-on share screen so you don't have to see all the other stuff. There you go. That's the full letter that we have. You can see it also, we have the whole story on the website, but that's the letter, and that's how we got it, coming from the camp saying, hey, I want to seek the Republican nomination for Gov. If you let me do it, I will be the best one ever, and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to read it for yourself, you can go on to the NMI News Service Facebook, or not Facebook page, but our website, actually, nminewsservice.com. And that's the story. Former Senator Vinny Sablon said that he intends to seek Republican Party's nomination for governor in 2026 election, making his formal notification. And a lot going on now with the GOP. You see that they have their president just resigned, and now Patrick Cepeda is moving up as the president. And now they're going to have to start going through candidates. And is it me, or does it feel like the political season got started a little bit early? We don't see all the signs and the banners and waving, but we're already seeing the bumper stickers and people that are getting ready to support all their friends and family and their political allies. That sounds pretty awful, political allies. It's just like their partners in crime. No, that doesn't sound good either. I would just talk about their friends. Let's just leave it at that. But speaking of that, even people who aren't necessarily going to be on that same team are even showing support for each other. And I love this, too. We got this last night. Here, let's go back to the website for you. You could see that B.J. Attow, he's a former House Speaker. He's been in the House forever, wins all the time. He's one of the top vote getters and all the other time. But he decided that he's going to be running for the top spot for Gov with Edmund Villagomez, the current House Speaker, and he would be the person running as the lieutenant governor on that ticket. Well, they came out last night after hearing about it and saying, hey, man, that's great. Well done, Vin. We're down. The story's there. It says he salutes Sablon's bid. Says ticket that his ticket's going to stay focused on listening to everybody. But in their official letter, he's like, "Hey, I'd like to extend my congratulations to Vinny Sablon on his announcement to seek the Republican nomination for governor in the upcoming 2026 general election. Running for public office is a serious and honorable undertaking, one rooted in the shared desire to improve the lives of our people and strengthen the future of the Commonwealth. I have the utmost respect for anyone who steps forward to seek an election and serve our community. My running mate, Edmund Villagomez, and I welcome an open civil campaign, and we wish Vinny well on his effort to secure the Republican Party's nomination." That's great. That's class stuff. And I'll tell you, the thing I love about it is that, again, no matter who you support or anything, even if somebody's running in your area and you don't agree with their stuff, you still got to give it to them because they're standing up and running for office, and because they want to do something about it. They want to be a part of their community making changes in an elected capacity. So you gotta give them some credit, no matter who it is. Even if it's the person you like the least in the world, you still got to give them credit. I mean, you really do, because there's some people who have run before. I'm like, man, I hope that guy doesn't win. But I respect them for doing it, and all that. As for these guys, though, we know both of these guys. We know BJ pretty well. We got to work with him a few years back when we were doing some work with the legislature. And Vinny, how do you not know Vinny from all the different things that he's been a part of over the years? And I got to know him a lot more like through sports stuff and seeing him around, seeing the family and all that. And just a good dude. So I'm excited to see what they end up doing and running. And again, I'm not coming out here to support anybody's anything, but I do support both of these guys for going. Now, the question is this, because I think BJ is running as an independent. It's not like you have to get the blessing of anybody other than your family and your friends to go and make that kind of a run. But for the GOP, it's a different ball of wax, right? You need to get the endorsement of the party. So that first step is that Vinny comes out, says, I want to run. It would be an honor to be your candidate for governor for representing the GOP. So is the GOP, is this one of those things where it's just a formality, or does he have to go through the whole thing? And is someone else going to try to run for that governor's position? We heard a lot about the lieutenant governor, and would he be comfortable still being lieutenant governor? Would he want to take a bigger role? But it seems like everybody's on the same page with a lot of that stuff. And then, especially with the party, they just got reorganized, after losing their president, who they just had. They just got him after Mr. Beneventi stepped down for what we didn't know at the time about the stuff that's going on with him with the health reasons. So then, and everything that's going on with Tinian. Tinian's such an exciting one for me too, because what is going to happen? The word on the street is, Mayor Aldon, who is rounding out the end of his second term. You only get 2 terms as mayor. The word on the street was that Senator Hofschneider was going to run for mayor. This is just a word on the street. This is not a fact or anything, but this is my little chismes. Hey, psh, psh, hey, did you hear this one? That they would do like a switch where Mayor Aldon would run for Senate and then Senator Hofschneider would run for mayor. And all that would be keeping that same delegation in power, like the same people who have stuck together really well, really solidly, and I would say have really held the GOP together in the past couple of years. The Tinian staying together, and then roping in some of the folks from Rhoda as well. There's really been the, the nucleus that kind of kept it all together when it looked like maybe things weren't going to be going their way. So they keep that party together, and that brings us all the way back to the session at the Senate today, where we're going to see Ray De La Cruz, who is nominated to be part of the CETA board. And Ray De La Cruz, he was the former mayor. That's how I got to know him when I got here. I got to meet him as the mayor of Tinian. I still think of him as the mayor of Tinian with the hat and everything. And then he's going to be going for to become a board member of the Commonwealth Economic Development Authority, and that should be happening tomorrow. So, all right, that brings us up to the top of the hour. We do have a bunch of stuff to get to today. We've got a couple of guests with us in studio. We are going to take a real quick break just to make sure we get them set up in the seats over here to my left. And in the meantime, rather than just hit you guys with commercials, which we could, and our advertisers would love, what I could do is get you the latest update from the Associated Press, if it's there. And what I'm really looking forward to see is if we got a good sports update, and right now I'm seeing one. So let's do this. It's not, we're going to get you a real quick sports update, and when we come back from sports, we'll have our guests on studio with us, so don't go anywhere.
Fox Sports Update.
The second college football playoff rankings of the season were released Tuesday night, and the top 5 teams remained unchanged. Ohio State is number 1, followed by Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Georgia, with Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas, Oklahoma, and BYU rounding out the top 12. Miami and South Florida would replace Oklahoma and BYU, since 5 conference champions are guaranteed to make the 12-team bracket. In college basketball, 6th-ranked Michigan held off Wake Forest for an 85-84 overtime victory.
Colvin gotta go. Everything the wrong direction. Kelmes on the drive and the scoop. Window, no! Michigan survives in Detroit by a hair. Woo!
That was courtesy of FS1, as the Demon Deacons were unable to win at the buzzer, and the Wolverines improved to 2-0 on the season.
It's Will Kane Country. Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday at foxnews.com or on the Fox News YouTube channel. And don't miss the show. Listen and follow the podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Heading over to the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 5-4 and in first place in the AFC North, but the team is headed in the wrong direction. The Steelers have lost 3 of their last 4 after falling to the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. 4-time MVP quarterback Aaron Rodgers struggled, throwing 2 interceptions in the loss, but head coach Mike Tomlin doesn't seem overly concerned.
Sunday night was what it was, but I have no long-term reservations about his ability to play the position and play the position at a high level for us.
Sound courtesy of the Steelers, Pittsburgh now has just a 1-game advantage over the Ravens for first place in the division, with the 2 rivals set to play each other twice over the next 8 weeks. And in Major League Baseball, Pat Murphy of the Brewers has won his second straight NL Manager of the Year award, while Stephen Vogt of the Guardians repeated for the AL honor. Murphy led Milwaukee to 97 wins during the 2025 season, while Cleveland won the AL Central thanks to an incredible late-season surge. You can listen and follow the Fox Sports Podcast at foxsports.com or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Joe Morgan.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your way. Take a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun.
With the waves crashing in, hear the oceans call. Rap brings the news that connects us all. From the islands to the world, those kind of wish. Good morning, Marianas, the best time of year.
Good morning, Marianas. Let's start the day. With laughter and stories, come what may.
All right, Marianas, welcome back. It is Thursday morning, 8:06 here in Saipan, and it's a beautiful day, and it's going to keep being beautiful all day long. We're currently at 81 degrees up there at the Saipan International Airport, and it is getting hotter, and the humidity just dropped all the way down to 77%, so at least it's going to be comfortable. Looking at mostly sunny skies today, high near 87, and wind out of the east, 10 to 13 miles an hour, just to take a little bit of that edge off of that heat. But it got a lot cooler in here already because we have a senator and a representative here at the same time. Can you handle it, America? Like, Commonwealth, are you ready for this? This is great. We have with us Senator Manny Castro from Saipan and Representative Malcolm Omar over there, Precinct 4 in the House. We got former Precinct 2, Precinct 4 in the House, and it's so great to have you guys. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you, Brad. Good morning and Hafaday Marianas.
Well, it is so great because I know that you guys are, you're in here to talk about some legislation that you've got. But hey, how about let's just hear a little bit about you guys. I know Senator Manny, you've been in here a few times already, but Rep Omar, I'd love to hear a little bit about you too. Tell everybody about you, and so we can welcome you proper.
Thank you. I guess I'm Malcolm Omar from Precinct 4. I am the House Committee Chairman for Health and Welfare. And it's just great to be here and to talk about issues and legislations that we have ongoing and rolling for the CNMI and see how it's going to benefit everyone.
Well, that's great. And I know that you guys have, you guys worked together before. We were in the same legislature over there at the House side. And now, I mean, do you guys have to send secret messages to each other through the wall to transmit to the Senate? But it's really, I'll tell you, just seeing both of you guys here to talk about something on the same page is reassuring that you get to see real communication between senators and representatives. And I feel like that's a lost art these days.
I think Rep Malcolm he's a very humble person. He doesn't really like to toot his horn, but I think part of our strength in working together is, one, we were both raised by our grandparents. So though some people view us as young, but inside we can be old school too, with a little bit of wisdom. And I think he's more on the real side. I'm a little more filtered than he is. He can be raw, and sometimes, to be honest, the community needs to hear that raw message and be real. This is the situation. So I don't want to. I don't want to call anyone out, but sometimes, he has in his comments. It's the solution. And sometimes the solution can be hard to accept. But that's one thing I really respect about Rep Malcolm is He's not one to like hover over and like kind of water down things. He's real, and he does a lot of community service. Like I think in terms of grassroots efforts, he's very involved, and I don't really need to say much because the people out there they know. So we work really well together. I think the most we work together is like All Souls Day when we want to solve problems. He's good in doing the rosary. I'm good in making sure the sound works so that they can hear the rosary. But yeah, we have a very good working relationship, and we see a lot of things at the same level. Very more, when I say old school, it's like we don't just think about today, we think about tomorrow and the years to come. So that's part of the reason why we wanted to come in to talk about a bill that I introduced 2 years ago. And unfortunately in the Senate, I can't introduce those types of bills. But he decided to reintroduce it because he sees that same challenge. Like, we don't want to continue to come to the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess like you said, we still continue working together, even if Manny has sent it to the Senate and stuff, and it goes to show the working relationship of this legislature. We all get along hand in hand with the leadership and in the House, with minority members, and also with the Senate leadership and the administration. So as long as it's for the common good, I guess, like moving forward together and trying to expound on issues that affect the Commonwealth as a whole, our working relationship continues to be strong and in the same direction.
Well, it's great. You know, just the fact that you guys are dealing with any of these issues. There's so many issues that are facing our community right now. And it's almost like, where do you start? It's a good thing you guys have all these different committees and different areas for folks to focus on. But, you know, with your committee, you know, tell me a little bit, can you tell us a little bit about like some of the things that you guys are really dealing with right now?
So I guess with my committee in the House with health and welfare, obviously the main concern will be medical referral and just anything related to the hospital, but not just generally the hospital, but even private clinics and stuff, private providers. So just a couple of highlights, I guess, with the Health and Welfare Committee was the health disparity bill that that expanded mental health services for mental health providers from abroad, from the U.S. Mainly, to provide services here for our people, or those that seeking counseling services that's not available here in Ireland. And just, I guess, keeping the medical referral program funded, even though it's still underfunded, grossly underfunded, and just keeping the operations going to serve our patients, our community members who are seeking treatment off island in California, Hawaii, Guam. And more recently, it was a bill that Senator Donald introduced in the Senate, but we worked together with our committees, with our health committees, and with the partners, stakeholders, was to provide or to allow for foreign doctors, foreign practitioners, or healthcare providers to practice here in the CNMI. It's closely monitored by the Medical Licensing Board, and they have to get cleared by them, and all these check marks from the Medical Licensing Board before they even start. But I think those are great strides that work well for our community. And more recently, I know the Department of Public Health, Division of Public Health with CHCC, they've just had this new grant funding award, and I've been working with the director there and Tony Yarobuamao. So we're working on legislation that will, I guess, support the grant funding that's it's about to roll on for the CNMI.
Is that Deacon Tony?
Deacon Tony, yes. And it's with maternal, with women's clinic and L&D and stuff.
Wow, that's great. I can only guess. I don't think I've ever reached out, well, maybe once, the whole time I've been here, to one of my representatives about maybe something that was happening in our precinct, right? And I know what my one little thought was about it, but you've got to get calls and messages from folks all the time in your precinct about, like, hey, can you help with this? Hey, I've got this going on. What's like one of the biggest things that you end up getting from folks in your precinct? Like, what are the biggest requests that you get, or most frequent?
Oh, I think most frequent or the biggest requests or the bulk of, like, with our budget, right? The office budget that we get, allocations is tents and tables. So everybody needs tents and tables. There's so much functions, family functions, from the smallest things to major things like deaths or celebrations and stuff, but also a lot of community functions. There's a 5K here for veterans. There's a 5K there for the church Jubilee year. So, but also that, I guess, it's a good balance because not only with private functions, personal functions, community functions, and collaborations with partners like nonprofits and whatnot, the church and stuff. But I guess there's a balance where we all try to help each other in the legislature, where we all cost share and just like try to split the bill and just everyone foot the bill for these things, so that we're all involved and it's a collaboration to assist.
Do you get to do that, by the way? So I know this is not what the main thing that we're going to be talking about today, but just out of curiosity, I don't get to have you guys in here all the time. So do you reach out and work with the other folks in your precinct? Like, do you work with your other, because you guys have two, right?
Yes.
You and Joel Camacho?
Yes, so, Joel Camacho.
Do you guys work together for some of those things? Like, hey, man, I lent my tent to something, but so-and-so also has something. Do you have one? Is it something like that?
Yes, all the time, actually. I've been, I guess it's a blessing since my first term in office to have a senior member of the legislature, my partner Joel Camacho, and it's been a great working relationship with him. We support each other, we back each other up, and there's always a communication and I guess collaboration between our offices, and even regards also to manpower for staffing or even getting family members to assist our office out, like just volunteer. Like, we need extra hands for deliveries or to help out at community events or public events. But yeah, so I've been with Joel. This is my second term working with him. It's been such a great experience, and still a great movement together for our community.
Awesome. Well, I love that, and I can see that you guys do a lot of stuff. I love the it seems like almost one big community, but it's a couple of real tight ones up there too, in Precinct 4. I really love it. It's a beautiful spot. The folks are great, and but I think you might have like the most beautiful precinct on the island with what you guys cover up there in the north side and everything like that. So, pretty cool.
Thank you. Yes, Precinct 4 also expands all the way north to the Northern Islands. So, I think it is the most beautiful precinct.
What have you done for MOG? That's what I want to know. We have a few birds who have been tweeting us asking what's going on. No. But that is great, and doing all that stuff. By the way, so speaking of that for the Northern Islands, do you end up working with the mayor from the Northern Islands to do some things like for the folks that are up there?
Yes. Mayor Val, since my first term, our offices have been supporting each other, especially with I guess grant proposals or grant funding that goes to the Northern Ireland Mayor's office, and so when they need help with letters of support or just to fine-tune applications and stuff, we've been working great. And more recently, the mayor has put on a food drive for Northern Ireland residents and Northern Ireland constituents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they reached out to my office and stuff. I apologize not helping out this round, but for sure we have a good working relationship. So we can always come back to it, and we'll see where we can move on from there.
Well, you know, I never thought about that. You're the only representatives that have to work with two mayors, really, to get stuff done. Like you have in your precinct 2 mayors on top of that. That's
yeah, that's right. I just thought about that now too, but I know working with the delegation and stuff, we try to, spread it out whatever we can and evenly distribute amongst the municipality of Saipan and the Northern Islands. But so far, under the leadership of Chairman Jampo, also there's everything's been smooth working with 2 mayors and the representatives.
Awesome. Hey, I know we're going to get into to this other thing just real quick because we got some in the comments. You mentioned about like the health and wellness stuff. We got Tobat in the comments talking about medical referral. He's like, hey, medical referral needs a major overhaul. I need to fix my chassis. But 2.5 years later, nada. We talk about his back. He says, what happened with all that other Kandong hospital put out? He said they said they'll open a hospital here with all the needs and get us seen off island. Korea is just 3 hours away and way cheaper to treat patients than sending to Hawaii or LA. Where's the logic in that with medical referral? Anything on that?
Yeah, I guess, medical referral, since being transferred to CHCC, now being administered by CHCC, they have a criteria for patients that you have to meet. And I know sometimes it's frustrating because I get calls also from the general public, from patients and family members alike with their concerns and complaints. But I guess we could say it's a case-by-case basis and based on severity of the diagnosis or situation. But I applaud the medical referral office and its staff and also the administration of the medical referral office, or now called the Health Network Program, HNP. And more of our people are getting treatment or getting better treatment for what illnesses or ailments they have now. I guess in regards to more partnerships, I know they're looking into servicing patients here in the Asia Pacific region, like towards the Philippines and Korea and stuff. But still, I guess the main thing with that is funding, and also with the Medicaid program and insurance providers. I think Aetna is the only global insurance provider that usually covers everything.
Yep.
But those are in the works. I know CMS with Medicaid and Medicare are still working on negotiations for treatment in the Asia Pacific region, which it is closer to seek treatment and more convenient than traveling to the U.S.
Well, thanks for walking us through that with medical referral and everything, and thanks for walking us through what's going on with the precinct and all that. Now let's talk about this cool piece of legislation that we can really dive into. And Senator Manny, I know you got a bit about this too.
So I actually just wanted to just retract a little bit, and because I think Rep. Malcolm didn't. He's so excited about talking about medical referral, but the link between the bill that Senator Donald actually got passed, working with all the members of the legislature and the governor, to allow foreign doctors or physicians, to practice here in the CNMI. So, synergizing what's on the bill with investment and related diversification. I mean, those are fancy words, but basically, that bill in itself is really a game changer, right? So what Mr. Tobat mentioned earlier, yes, Korea is closer. In fact, our Aetna insurance. And the thing is, though, not everybody's on Aetna, right? Mostly just government officials and government employees. But if we can bring those hospitals here, or private clinics, more private clinics with specialized, not to compete with the hospital, but to complement and to further improve services, right? So that's an opportunity. I mean, I look at like Kanoa Resort. If we really think about that bill that was just passed, that public law that allowed foreign doctors to practice here, and you look at a place like Kanoa Resort, which was designed to be an alternative care site, there's a potential there, not just to be a hotel, but to be a like a hospitality hotel. I mean, hospitality hospital or something, like, you know, like let's say you have like even one tower, we could just eliminate the cost from the Rhoda and Tinian liaison office and put all the residents in the tower at Kanoa, but at the same time the main hotel brings in patients, you know, like elderly that want to travel, but they have someone that's disabled, right? So
yeah,
that's something. What can we do different that other places don't have? And I think it's like the problem is we have all these infrastructure, but there's a link missing. Like,
and that's on public land too, so it's a public property, right? And you know, that could also be a great solution for the off-island senators and representatives to be able to stay there too, and that'll save us tons of money for all that stuff. How about that?
So vision, you know, it's very important, but we can't just the idea is there, the concept. We just need to continue to work together. I see, like, there's a benefit between having more autonomous agencies, and then there's also a disadvantage, right? And historically, the government has moved to create a lot of autonomy within the agencies, but so, like, let's say things like DPL, right? They have their own pretty much government and way they run things. They're self-sustaining, but at the same time, when there's an issue, it falls back on us, like the legislature, the governor, like what's happening there, right? So if we look at like Rhoda Resort, it's been dormant. Marianas Resort, it's a long time to be vacant, and I hope we don't get to that level with Kanoa. And I know Secretary Sixto is doing his best, but again, we have to look at the system in general, and it's like these things like property, like especially like Kanoa, millions of dollars was spent to make that basically a hospital, a hotel / hospital. So let's put that in the proposal. Say, hey, we have this. We don't just say this hotel is up for lease. Put it in the proposal that we have this facility with these features, and start talking to hospitals that maybe want to open in the U.S., like, which is us, like best of both worlds, U.S. close to Asia.
Great idea. I love it.
So the bill, we have good laws, but it's all about the enforcement, implementation, execution, and unfortunately, that's not our branch.
We do introduction,
but we can always recommend to the other branch that's responsible for that.
I like the hospitality hospital. We put the hospital in hospitality, and like it's ICU at day and Club V at night. Yeah.
I think we're.
That's a little bit more.
Gaming in the bottom.
They got Club C. Just open it back up. It'll be Club ICU. All right. So. I love all those ideas and being able to capitalize on the resources that we already have, things that are being unused, and resources that really are just going to get wasted unless some magical person comes from out of the blue to open up a hotel in an area that we're having issues with flights right now. Yeah. But how about this one in particular, this stuff that we're looking at, and how can this really help benefit everything that we're looking at?
So 2 years ago, I introduced a House Bill, what was it, 2319? And it's basically a food pantry tax credit, right? So there's a lot of, we see a lot of stores that market expired goods and try to sell it at, or outdated and try to sell it at half off. And I was like, that's a lot of surplus food, right? So rather than waiting till it expires, how about we offer a tax credit so that if they donate everything like 2 months or 3 months before the expiration date, or community-based organization like Salvation Army or Caridot, any community service organization can start having either a food pantry or a food bank, right? And the concept is to have a secondary safety net, because not everyone qualifies for food stamp, but that doesn't mean that people are not struggling, right? So, and it also is it gives us control. The CNMI government, the community, the private, like the general community has control over preventing hunger, right? We have the old school way of just making sure everybody has a farm, but since everyone's used to convenience nowadays, a food bank might also help, right? So it's a win-win for the businesses because they have inventory that maybe they have surplus of that they'd rather donate it to a community-based organization that can have food on hand in case of any challenge, which is what we're facing right now. I really wish that bill passed 2 years ago, but because we wouldn't have this situation with with the government shutdown, we would have had a safety net already in place, right? And I want to give props out to our community-based organizations like Salvation Army, Caridot, because they're really the front line after the government, or sometimes even before the government, and they're trying to make do with what resources they have. So this bill was really intended to support them further.
Well, it makes sense. We do it for education, right? I mean, with the tax credit, because it's an investment, a continuing investment in the schools and in the students and in our community. And it's money that's going directly to them that doesn't have to be funneled or filtered through another government agency through tax collection. This is the same kind of thing, only it's a tangible benefit to those agencies that are actively supporting the community. And really, that's what the government agencies are there for, right? I mean, this is heading that stuff off, and it puts it directly into the hands of folks who need it.
Yes. So, so most recently, this bill was introduced in the 23rd legislature and died out in committee, so no action was taken. So I recently introduced it in our previous session. The title of the bill is to provide a tax credit for taxpayers who make donations of cash or food supplies to qualified local food pantry, homeless shelters, and or soup kitchens. So the intent of this bill actually derived from COVID, right, with the business closures and everything. But I guess as time goes by, there's more much need for it now with the government shutdown and just an array of more reasons of people, with personal struggles and stuff. And this we're not only looking, or this bill doesn't only see to serve a marginalized population or what, but it's for the entirety of the whole CNMI.
And with the government shutdown and with the austerity measures and everything, we already spoke with the folks from NAP who said they expect the rolls to increase because of all that stuff, because people who are just above the threshold, when these austerity measures kick in, they're going to be qualified for all this stuff. So there's going to be a need, which means there's going to be less money coming in, even where you have the same amount of NAP money going out, and where they're going to have more of a need. So that means all those businesses are going to have less people being able to buy all that stuff. So now this is an actual thing that these resources that we have, in keeping with the same stuff you were just talking about with the hotels, these resources, meaning these items at these stores, even if it's cash or tax, but like these things that would expire like maybe 2 or 3 months ahead of time, can get out to those food banks so they can still get to the people who can't actually pay for them right now, or it can help them with what they need going on. This is a great idea. I can't see anybody voting against something like this. It seems outstanding.
Yeah, I guess previously, on its initial introduction, there was just a few amendments and stuff, but we've worked, Senator Manny, with our legal counsel and LB staff team, and then me more recently, we've overlooked and tweeted every corner and stuff. So yeah, the benefit's going to be impactful. And when Senator Manny came up with this initial introduction to the last legislature, it just reminded me of my time in the States, when I lived in the States. And I had experiences volunteering at the local soup kitchen for the Thanksgiving holiday, or for the holiday season, soup kitchen to feed the homeless or the needy and stuff. But also when I was living out there and times got hard because it was a shutdown or an economic recession. And then that was the first time we had the stimulus checks. It was Obama at the time, I think 2008. It was like $1,000 and stuff. But I found myself like there was a food bank nearby in my community, in my city and stuff. So, and it's actually a good stuff. Like these are top-notch stuff from Trader Joe's and stuff that's being donated into the food bank. And just the flow, I got to see the process of the food bank operation just through patronizing it and volunteering there also. But there compared, because the population is huge, it serves millions and stuff. But even for our small community, I think it can work, or that same concept can work to benefit everybody, and not just a few, or not just SNAP recipients, or not just the low income, but even those that, like the middle class, who are struggling also, but not receiving public assistance.
And I'm trying to think of any reason why anybody would not go for this. So, I mean, like the only pushback that I think that anyone would say is like, well, this would be tax money that we could use for other stuff. But again, if they were going to say that, this is money that goes to address a big need in the community directly anyway. So that tax money that they would be worried about, who knows where that would go. This is actually a laser-focused assistance beam to people who actually need it at that time. So, I mean, and that's really it. I mean, that's why, like, we have a government because, we want to have services and we want to have stuff done, right? And make sure everything works out. And this is one of those essential needs to get done, and you're coming up with a perfect fix for that solution. The other part is, and I don't want to get too far over my skis on this one, but that maybe we shouldn't be looking to come up with just money to keep things going as the way they are, and that we should try to fix what the system is, and maybe we don't need to spend money the way we're spending it right now. But I love this idea, you guys. This is excellent.
So again, this is just a safety net. I mean, even with the whole concept of things like the food stamp program, we have to look back and why was the food stamp program created way back in the United States. And there's some Manomco that are actually, that I just remember growing up, that are not really in support of some of these programs because it becomes a dependence. And it's more convenient to just go out, but then we start to forget our roots. Like if you're hungry, go kill a chicken, and and that's why I think the dynamics has changed so much, where we've gave up our self-control over things like hunger, right? Preventing hunger. Not everybody has a different experience, but just when I was younger, maybe we at my grandma's house, maybe there'd be like 10 cans of canned goods. But outside, there's like 50 chickens, 10 pigs, and a whole row of plot of kangkong, and so it's like self-sustaining, right? So if something like a government shutdown happened, like, or a typhoon, like people are. So that's why I think when we look at this challenge, we also have to go back to the root issues here. But it's not to say we're not gonna introduce things to kind of like support in the meantime. But as we retool our people to go back to basics, I mean, there's a reason why food stamp allows you to buy like fishing rods and fishing equipment and It's so so that you can also be self-sustaining, and you know, I believe it all comes down to also like just the economy, right? And back then, you know, our food stamp situation and our need was because of it wasn't as great as it is now because we had a thriving economy. So you know, I know there's a lot of people out there that are really talking about the 1 million loan. See, think about this: we're loaning money to fund a food stamp program, right? So and that money that we're loaning is not even enough to do it 100%. And I've seen comments out there talking about like the legislature's things like subsistence allowance, and even if we wiped out all the legislators' subsistence allowance, it would probably be only 2% or 5% of the demand of the current need for food stamps. So the bigger question we need to ask ourselves is that should be an alarming concern, the fact that we have 15,000 people relying on a safety net. Right? What in the system is disconnected, right? So if we're gonna, and I'm not against what we're doing right now. I mean, we have like no choice to take out this in the meantime, but it's like we cannot always be reliant on the federal government, because this is what happens. Like, we need to focus on making sure we have our own systems and process and control for our security, like food security, economic security. We're not to say we're going to challenge the federal government, but we need to challenge ourselves to really look at the deep issues. And because the blueprint our founding fathers set up, it's set for, and I'm going to say this again, it was set for success. But you know, like things like education, we need to start focusing on, because in 3 years we're going to have a mass exodus of contract workers based on U.S. immigration law, right? The CW program is going to be gone, and that's going to be a big impact to our economy. So we need to make sure that all our education programs are aligned with that to mitigate that impact.
And you know, I feel like a lot of times it's just a can getting kicked down the road for some of this stuff.
It's easier to just kick down the can rather than do something controversial to solve it, like so that we don't end up in the situations. Like, you know, if we read all the bills, that the findings and purpose from the early 2000s, is the same situation, the same challenges, right? But again, we have good laws, but it's just a matter, everybody needs to take initiative. Like everybody, not just the government. It's easy to blame the government, but ourselves. You know, when I was going to Hopwood, Congressman went to Hopwood too, like my parents separated, my grandma died. I didn't want to struggle, so I say the only way out is education. And I decided to further my education, and I'm, you know, like, so we all have to, it's easy to blame the government and say the government is not doing this, but at the same time, we need to ask ourselves, what are we doing to prevent the situation that we are in individually? Everybody needs to, because if we keep relying on the government, this is what's going to happen, because the resources, I'm not saying the government's not supposed to be doing what it's doing, but what I'm saying is you cannot rely on them 100%. Even the national government, we cannot rely on 100%. And that's why with all these situations, we have to think ahead of time and introduce bills like this because we need to be in control of these kind of situations.
Well, I love this idea. It tackles a need head on. And you guys have, working together and doing this. And by the way, that's another big thing about this. The thing I love about it is that, working together, the collaborative spirit, and you guys saying, hey, this is a good idea. Let's work on this. Let's figure out how we can make this happen. And you guys are doing it. And, a lot of some people don't like sharing. And you guys are sharing a great idea with the community right now and at the highest levels.
But I guess also recently with the whole federal government shutdown and the SNAP withholding of benefits and stuff, we've seen so much from the community. The CNMI is a resilient community. We take care of our own, right? So there's testament from natural disasters to government showdowns that our people, we rise above the situation and we take care of our own. And I just want to applaud everyone who's organized and who's come together to work in the recent weeks, and even some of our members, our colleagues in the legislature, Rep. TJ Maglonia, Rep. Angelo Camacho, recently Rep. Eli Rangomar, but just the small little people that are doing something, moving something, or even making the arrangements themselves. I guess if this bill was in place 2 years ago, before this thing, and we have all these business partners that are partnering with the small groups, doing what little they can, it could have been really beneficial, and they could have really gotten something in return. And I just want to thank all the business partners also who have reached out to these organizations and these people who have collaborated to provide some relief. And again, like I said, we are strong people of our islands, of the Marianas, of the CNMI, and I guess just based on previous trauma dating back to colonialism to present, right? We've learned to adapt and to rise above so that we can be a stronger people. And I think that's what we are. We all are strong people, and with just not band-aid solutions, but if we look into the future, that we can really benefit from, and like Manny said, like take ownership of everything, not just for dependency on the government. And if we can be self-sustaining and we are resilient already, I think we can flourish.
That's great.
Feed 3 birds with 1 seed.
And maybe that's what that's funny that you mentioned the seed part, because that's exactly what I was thinking. It was about with this legislation when you introduced it first. Maybe it just wasn't the right time of year, or the right time for that seed to be planted. But right now, you got the right soil, you got the right conditions.
So, it's hard to speak about things, but when people see it, like now, like when you demonstrate why this one, so like now everybody's seeing it because nobody expected a federal government shutdown because it was all smooth sailing. So now while it's fresh, like we're seeing the issue even more, even though we saw it like years ago, but now that it's fresh, hopefully we can move this forward. And the biggest thing is we ran out of time. There was a lot of issues also when we both came in at the same time. A lot of other issues with the economy and everything. And because it's a tax credit, it didn't really get the support, I think, from the central government, because that would mean less operational funds. But at the same time, we got to think of the whole purpose of tax is for service, public service, right? So this is a direct public service benefit that helps the business community because they're just not donating without assistance, right? So we have to make it a win-win for everybody. The person that's receiving the assistance, the person that's donating, because it's not sustainable for just, we've noticed from histories, like socialism doesn't work, right? Like, I mean, right now, even things with like free healthcare in Canada, like it's having a problem because
their taxes are crazy high. Trust me, like, so Buffalo, like, they were joking, or not joking, but, when Trump first took office, they were talking about, we're going to make them the 51st state and all that stuff. Yeah. But literally, we joke about, like, we're by extension, like, half Canadian in Buffalo. We're right on the border. But that's one of the things that we see. The dollar for the U.S. is stronger than the Canadian dollar, and it used to be, like, you could buy so much stuff, but once they started doing the healthcare, which is a great thing to have, everything else got so much more expensive over there, and their taxes. People talk about BGRT here and stuff like that, and over there they've got two different. They've got one for their province, like their states, and then they're one for their federal, and it is quite a bit, and it makes it like a lot of your paycheck goes out of you. You never see it, right?
Oh, damn. You did not the union. Oh, no.
But no, the union dues and all that.
And that's why we really got to be careful, because over the years, that's what, like, our government continues to tack on, like, all these permitting fees, these different fees, and like, economics is one. That's why macro and microeconomics is required in college, is because you need to understand how all of this relates, both at the local and global level.
Well, and I don't want to beat this one too much, but like the amount of money that we need to run our government and the amount of money that we're trying to get to maintain the spending that we're at, I think are two different numbers. Because what we're doing, again, I'm not anti the government or any of that kind of stuff. Of course, without the government, we wouldn't have basic services and people who are doing all kinds of great stuff. But at some point, you look at it, and some of the expenses that we have, we just don't need them. And we are looking at, even in this kind of a time right now, this is a great opportunity for us to see where we're at, wean ourselves off of some of that. And we could even lessen the taxes that we ask for the people in the community by having a smaller government. And that, like, I don't know why. I think the defense on that is people always worried about, we're going to lose jobs, we're going to cut jobs, and we can't do that. It's an election year. You don't want to be the one doing it. But the spending doesn't have to be only limited to what the effect is on the personnel. I think with some of the other functions and some of the other equipment, some of the other expenditures, and I'll say it again, I know we talked about it briefly the other day, but like this hearing tomorrow on Tinian, right, the Senate, I'm not against it. I love the idea that it happens, but the thing is, like, our capital is here, right? Our seat of power is here. And like for the U.S., they don't have like, all right, guys, let's pack up the Capitol and go to Vermont this weekend. The amount of money that's being spent just on this hearing tomorrow in Tinian is going to be enough to fund one full FTE in the government. And we're spending that money like we have it to spare. And we don't. At least, at the very least, during these kinds of times, we should be able to see that we could put a hold on that and still do it. I understand why they do it. I understand the reasons for it. But for something like this in particular, if it's so important to get specific presentation for support, that's great, because it's more of a spoken word thing than a written word thing. I totally understand it. Set up a great video thing over there so people can get in and do that and make sure that they have their right and their ability to be able to do that kind of stuff, just to save money on this trip right here, because it seems to me like this is just one instance where your actions speak louder than words.
So...
And it's your fault, Manny. You're saying
no. I wanted to add to that because, like just also my experience, and I kind of shared this with you, but I'm gonna put it into perspective. Back then, when I was working at NMC, and so when we first started the Start Smart seminar, which is one of NMC's signature recruitment events that pretty much helped us with numbers in general. it helped us improve our enrollment numbers. When I first started at the college, enrollment was down to 700 students. It's like, that's critical. Like that's like you're ready to shut down. You don't have enough enrollment to sustain your operation, right? That time we were on show cause. So we started something called the Start Smart Seminar, and it's been a signature event every year. We gather all the high school seniors on Rhoda and Tinian, juniors and seniors, and we bring them to this venue, and we talk to them about all the funding and the benefits of a college education, or just getting credentialed. So in the beginning, we would just have our event in Saipan, and then all of our staff would fly to Rhoda, right, and then Tinian to have the same event there. But was it as meaningful if just the same NMC people fly to Rhoda and Tinian versus flying the junior and senior population to Saipan to participate in the full Start Smart seminar? And what's the difference? This is the difference between equality and equity, right? We can give you the same slice of pie, but would that pie get you, if I give you a quarter, would that quarter buy the same amount on Tinian and Rhoda? So what I'm trying to say here is, I was getting a lot of heat from our finance people when I was at NMC, because I'm flying the entire junior and senior population, which is only like 20 or 30 students, to Saipan. And the entire junior and senior population of Tinian to Saipan. And it's like, the costs are very high, and we don't have that much money. But what we're trying to target here is, we cannot replicate the Start Smart seminar in Saipan, because there's an activity where we bring in the U.S. Coast Guard, FBI agents, teachers. I think even I don't know if you participated one time, but there's a portion called Meal with the Mentor.
Oh yeah,
right?
I did that a couple times.
So if we were to just fly to Tinian and try to do the same thing, it's still not going to be as meaningful as bringing all the seniors and juniors here from Tinian and from Rhoda, which is why the Senate also, they also set aside money for Rhoda and Tinian to participate in intramural activities here on Saipan. So, that's, so like even with that, just something as simple as the Start Smart seminar, we chartered like 2 planes for Rhoda, 6 planes for Tinian. And guess what? At the end of the year, enrollment jumped 200 plus students, because not only did because before, what was happening in Rhoda, they were like, forget NMC, and they would go to UOG.
Oh wow!
But just that impact of bringing them here to show them you can save money, it's a lot more affordable. You have all these systems in place. So if I listen to the accountants that said, you're spending more money, we wouldn't have the enrollment numbers that we did the following year. But just that small investment boosted our enrollment like even higher than national standards. So, I'm having, like, just being on Tinian and Rhoda, even me flying to Rhoda and Tinian as a senator from Saipan, I'm able to understand the struggles on each island firsthand. And not everybody wants to go online and speak, right? So a lot of people say, why is Senator introducing a bill to open the hunting of deer, CNMI wide? It's actually from a farmer in Rhoda who was complaining to me that he has a lot of crops. Even an old man that was planting doggo. Doggo is it takes a while to grow, but it's also one of the local favorites for making soups and everything. So he planted all this dogwood, and then a deer came in and just ate it all up. And all that, he wasn't able to that hurt him economically, because now he cannot sell that vegetable or that whatever it's called, right? And just the cost of building a fence to protect your farm is cost prohibitive, right? So people cannot afford to build a fence. So if I didn't travel to Rhoda to hear that, and I know they have senators on Rhoda and Tinian also, but that's also the benefit. So when it comes time to vote, both Rhoda and Tinian are on the same page. They understand each other, right? So I know we're trying to save costs, but at the same time, we need to be equitable.
Mm-hmm. I understand it. I understand it, but I can only go with you so far on that road.
Yeah.
But I definitely understand how that works for NMC. I can see that's a life-changing thing, and it's really supporting that.
But if we had our own delegation plane that helped with medical referral, no, I'm just
yeah, there you go.
At one point, I believe PSS had its own Cessna.
You're kidding.
That's what I've heard, because when I was looking into having a flight school, like, again, right, like when I was working at NMC, I was saying, okay, we have this divert airfield coming in. We should open a flight school, and even Dr. Hart at that time was looking into it. But and you had people like Star Marianas that came into NMC and say, hey, we want to partner with you. But it's like, when your focus has only been education, like you're cranking out a lot of teachers, and yes, respect to all the teachers, but if you've only seen one aspect of academics, it's hard for you to see the potential of other markets or products or services. So like, this, like, I remember Star Marianas came in, package ready. It's like, hey, we have a lot of, we're doing, they're pretty much, like, Star Marianas is a lot of pilots start out there, like nationwide. Like I know people that are flying the big planes now that started at Star Marianas, right? So if the college like really partnered with them, so sorry, I'm going into a rabbit trail, but assets, we need to do things like that, like assets. Like if you combine all the TAs for everybody, I bet you we can fund one plane for sure, and feed 3 birds with 1 stone, because medical referral plus. But let's take it a step further. I remember when I visited my auntie in Rhoda in the early 2000s, RHC was it felt, and I saw it, it's like a hospital. Right now it looks like a clinic. Like it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not against the hospital, but I'm just saying, as someone who's seen it firsthand, when I walked into Rhoda Health Center and I saw, like, some of the spaces got turned into office space, and where the patients used to be, there was like a whole bunch of it's not a hospital anymore, it's not a clinic. So I'm not one to really, it's like the service is different. Mm-hmm. Right? So now we have to fly everyone here, right? And a lot of medevacs and all of that. But if we pump money into RHC and make it, be, at least a small hospital, we won't have to spend so much on airfare. So I think the money, it doesn't matter how much money you have, it's how you spend it, right? Because you're trying to,
yes,
the issue, like with like even in accounting, that's why you need a finance person to run stuff, not necessarily an accountant. Because if you have the accountant up here, you're gonna be risk adverse, you're gonna be trying to, but the finance person is able to see down the line, like, hey, if we put money here, it's gonna yield this much return. Right? So just like the Southern Clinic that used to be in San Antonio, it was closed. there's a cause and effect. Then I saw like pregnancy increase, like at NMC, like the access to things like contraceptives was kind of reduced because everybody has to go to Garapan. But before, so that's why we also look at things like the other clinics now that are taking over, like, you know, Southern Clinic, Cagman Clinic. It's good to have a system working together rather than just mutually exclusive.
Man, I'll tell you what, it's
sorry,
that's a good point. By the way, I know the pharmacies usually give out free condoms as well. I think that would be a great idea if they just had those at the school nurses, if they had those over there too. Just to make it easier and accessible, and also, I mean, think about where you were in life at that time. It's like, oh man, I'm ashamed, you know, I don't want to go. Anyway, that's a big. We really covered a lot of topics.
Yeah.
But they were good ones, and a lot of folks in the comments talking about a lot of stuff. I love Bruce. He's like, Brad, how did you manage to get these two fine gentlemen together in one morning session? Bruce Camacho. Yes. And then a lot of folks who talk about they agree with some of your stuff, they disagree with some of your stuff. And, you know, it's a lot of comments to go through from a lot of different folks that we can check out afterwards too. But, you know, some good ideas and some good takes from a lot of the folks who watch. And I would say that after we're done, you know, to go back and read through some of the comments and some of the things that folks are talking about, sharing some of their experiences, and then some of their thoughts, some of their opinions and on this stuff. But it's great to have you guys with us in the studio because we're able to hear from you guys directly. I know there's a lot of stuff that you're doing. This piece of legislation about the food pantry tax credit could be an immediate boon to all kinds of folks, and again, stuff that could go to waste, stuff that would be marked down to 50% or something like that if it was expired. This is before it expires. It gets to go right into the hands of folks. You're not feeding them stuff that they say that they're not even supposed to sell it as food. You're supposed to sell it as dog food if it's 50%, right? This prevents even that, so that folks who are struggling, instead of even having to buy it, they could get it from one of these organizations that gets contributions from the stores and from other folks. So wonderful.
And just
stuff.
real quick, I mean, with this food pantry tax credit, it's not just non-perishable items, right? It goes from everything from poultry to vegetables to fruits and stuff before expirations and stuff. So, like anything they have in that's edible, right? So just like in the States or in food banks across the nation and stuff where they have like a farmer's section and poultry section, and just before it goes back, because it's not after it's on display on the chill and stuff, but they throw it into the freezer, the deep freeze, and then they wait until it's before, and then that's when they sell it on sale, outdated.
I like the second chance fruits where they cut off the bad part, but they're still up there cut in the
But I've
wrapper.
tried those, yeah.
Second chance.
All right, you guys, this has really been great. Any other last takes?
So just once again, thanks for having us. And again, with the situation going on and all the donors and private organizations and private individuals, just hats off to you, kudos, and thank you for all you do for our community, and we together will work together to strive better.
And just also thank you to all the behind the scenes people in our community. I know there's firsthand, I also know there's a lot out there that are just doing things to help out, and you know, just doing it behind the scenes. Okay, but thank you to our community again, and our legislators continue to work together. And at the same time, thank you, Brad, for this show. For us to be able to have dialogue. I know sometimes maybe it sounds like a lecture, but it's really not. It's just offloading a lot of the stuff that we have. And later on, I will be looking at the comments as well. You know, just yesterday we had NMC out there with the Mr. Barry Wixman and his current issue, or SO 297. I remember you were in one of those, right?
Yeah.
with Sam McFeeters Sr.
Yeah, I was. That was great.
So I just want to give a shout out to those students that are participating in current issues in the CNMI. To everyone out there, also, let's all pitch in and help out. We will be having some activities, partnering with some of our legislators, but you'll be hearing from us directly.
We'll keep you posted.
Thank you. That's awesome. All right, and we look forward to seeing if they end up getting an aviation program up at NMC. We call it the Pro Appellers, and we'll get that going. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for watching. We're not going to go anywhere, but we are going to get you guys the latest from the Associated Press. Here is the headlines, and we'll get some commercials a little bit after that. So thanks for being here, and stick around for a little bit. We got more stuff.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. President Trump says Democrats will do anything to deflect on how badly they've done. Marcela Sanchez on what he's referring to.
Emails made public Wednesday by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee are adding to questions about President Trump's friendship with Jeffrey Epstein and about any knowledge he may have had in what prosecutors call a years-long effort by Epstein to exploit underage girls. In one 2011 email to Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's former girlfriend, Epstein wrote that Trump had, quote, spent hours with a person whose name is blacked out of the emails, but who House Democrats identified as a, quote, victim. In a separate email to journalist Michael Wolff, Epstein said that Trump, quote, knew about the girls. Trump has consistently denied any knowledge of Epstein's alleged crimes and has said he ended their relationship years ago. Epstein died by suicide in a New York jail in 2019 while awaiting trial on federal charges. Marcela Sanchez, Washington.
The House is expected to vote this evening on a measure that would end the government shutdown, and Ed Donahue reports there will be a new member voting.
Democrat Adelita Grijalva was sworn in as the newest member of Congress more than 7 weeks after she won a special election in Arizona to fill the House seat last held by her late father.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which you are about to enter, so help you God? I do. Congratulations, you're now a member of the 119th Congress.
Grijalva's seating brings the partisan margin in the House to a narrow 220 to 214 Republican majority. She vowed to continue her father's legacy. I'm Ed Donahue.
A federal judge indicates hundreds of people detained in the Chicago area immigration crackdown could soon be released on bond while they await hearings. This is AP News. Seth Sutel has the AP Markets Report.
Stocks drifted around their record levels in a mixed day of trading on Wall Street. The S&P 500 edged up 0.1% Wednesday and came close to the all-time high it set a few weeks ago. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 326 points. It's about 0.7%. The Dow set its second all-time high in a row. The Nasdaq Composite fell 0.3%. Advanced Micro Devices jumped 9%. The chip maker forecasts strong growth in upcoming years, thanks to momentum in artificial intelligence. AI stocks have been shaky recently as investors question whether they can add much more to the huge gains they've made already. Treasury yields eased in the bond market. Seth Sutel, New York.
And the president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta will retire at the end of his term in February. Raphael Bostic's departure will open a seat on the Fed's interest rate setting committee. There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
It's the 12 bags of Christmas from Bud Light to you. Buy a pack here at home, win big prizes too. Gather your friends, the season is here. It's the 12 bags of Christmas from Bud Light.
The 12 weeks of cheers are on. Purchase any 12-pack of Bud Light, Budweiser, or Michelob Ultra cans now through December 19th for your chance to win a trip for two to watch your favorite NFL team live, plus weekly prizes. Details at currentcnmi.com.
Hey, bro, can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey, bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your bush today.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your way. With a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Yeah. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun.
With the waves crashing in, hear the oceans call. Brad brings the news that connects us all. From the islands to the world, goes the kind of wish. Good morning, Marianas, the best time of year.
Good morning, Marianas. Let's start the day. With laughter and stories. what may
Amy's Kitchen, so delicious. I mean,
it is so delicious.
It tastes so great.
Ena's Kitchen. So good. Yeah, good morning. Here we go. Okay, just check you guys out in the comments real quick. So let's get over there and get down to it. Lorraine jumping in on the comments. I want to say thanks to all you guys for being here today. Lorraine saying, hey, good morning, Brad. Tuned in late and missed the earlier discussions. Did those two senators mention if the governor and lieutenant governor's request to fund help for the NAP clients going to be approved? The House of Representatives approved it on the 1st, for $1 million on November 7th. That's correct. So here's the deal on that. Today, or tomorrow, sorry, the Senate has a session to talk about that. And we had one representative and one senator who were in here. And talked about it briefly about where that's going to be and, what the whole process was that got it to this point. But the Senate, they were working on this. Oh, geez, we got a call coming in. Hold on one second. I just don't know if this is for the show. Hold on. Please text me. By the way, you guys, if you're calling for the show, remember to give us a call at 789-2323, 670-789-2323. You could even potentially call us on WhatsApp on my own number if you're just trying to call my personal number or something like that. But for stuff like this, I can't. The other phone isn't hooked up to the board, so that's why. That's the only other thing. So getting back to your thing, Lorraine. So if people, if you want to find out what's happening, it's supposed to be on tomorrow during the Senate hearing. We spoke with Senate President last week, who said, oh, hold on, let's find out what we got here. And he was telling us that, hey, they were going to try. They didn't agree 100% with everything that was in what the House passed. He didn't outline any of the specifics, but said that they were going to try to work it out in time for their session tomorrow, and maybe approve with their own changes, and then bounce back from there. So that's where it's at right now, and we should hear about it tomorrow. And as long as there's nothing else going on at the same time, we will knock this out. Ooh, I just got a message. I'm going to call this guy back. DPS. All right, good stuff. All right, really good stuff, by the way, in case you're wondering. Trying to do stuff with DPS and have them come in here more often. They've got so many cool things to talk about with regards to all of their activities, especially the traffic guys, and to get on here and do some like regular safety tips. And just gives us a good idea to hang out with some of the guys, men and women who keep us safe out here, keep the streets safe, and keep our businesses safe and all that other stuff. So whatever DPS has going on, those are our guys. So we want to try to get them on here and talk about their stuff too. Yes, awesome. That's exactly what I want to do. Talk about one of their upcoming things that they've got for the holiday drive sober. Instead of being pulled over. I love this. So we'll get those guys on here. So as soon as we get off, we're going to go ahead and message those guys directly. Also today, we might pop in some video. We've got a big exciting thing happening here in studio where we're going to get this whole new cabinet stuff put in. You see the commercials for Buyer tree removal services and Buyer woodworking. We have a master craftsman who is going to be installing this new area for us. You'll see it when it's done, but I'm really excited about it. All right, guys, that's what we got for you today. 9:23. You got the latest update from the U.S. and around the world. You already know about what's going on over here, and we got a couple of great folks in studio. So what we're going to end up doing. We will post just the interview with our good representative and senator that were in studio as well. If you've got any questions, comments, send them our way. And check us out. If you haven't already, check out our website, nminewsservice.com. It is, 4 out of 5 dentists agree. It's a great website. And we're happy to have it. And the good thing is, right now, in this time, our website is working just fine, which is the great thing. So you got it here. All the headlines that have been happening in the last couple days, everything is up to date with what's happening here in the world, and hopefully we're able to see you guys tomorrow morning as well. So have a great day, Marianas. We will be back again, and maybe if you don't have a plan for lunch, go to Ena's Kitchen.
She's so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car, gotta go and get it. Nina's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car, gotta go and get it. Nina's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car.